Easy now everybody. The idea here is I'm wanting to polish the water on my 80 gallon tank a wee bit. I've already got filters on it. I've got the Oasa, I've got the Eheim pickup internal filter and sponge filters in there. But like I say, I'm wanting to polish the water a wee bit more, so I've got this CF3 here from Interpet. It comes boxed with some bio rings. Your water then goes through your mechanical floss with carbon inside and then a sponge, which I think is a little bit backwards. However, there's plenty of opportunity for customising these refilters, which is why I like them. You can get smaller ones for smaller tanks, but obviously I need a slightly larger one. My first plan was to go with a sponge where the water hits first. Then we compartment with the mini bio rings at the front. We are going to change that, but you'll see. And we're not going to use the carbon at all. We don't like carbon unless we're removing medication. There was a problem with that though. If we pull this out, you see that cut out at the bottom now? I'll show you why that's important. We'll get the sponge out of the way. Gonna need the light on. There we go. See that wee bit at the bottom? Now that fits the cutout perfectly. So to ensure we don't get any water bypassing, taking the dirty water with it, which we're trying to avoid because we're trying to polish the water, we're going to need to keep that in the correct position. We'll put the sponge at the front, but then we're going to change this up. Now obviously you're meant to get into this section on these filters. You can see that because they've only filled half of it, giving you the opportunity to fill the other half. I really don't see any point of having the biomedia as a first point of contact for your water though. Doesn't seem to make any sense. It's going to get clogged real quick. You want the sponge hitting the water first, trapping all the waste before it gets to biomedia. I've got another filter with biomedia in it though, so this is purely for polishing as we said, which means I can get rid of this. I've got some of this microfiber that Aquarium makes, and you can kind of see the thickness is just about right to fit inside this wee compartment here, so gonna need to kind of line it up first and cut it to the size that we need. Cutting it a wee slightly bit bigger is better than cutting it a slightly bit smaller, because again we don't want any water travelling past it, we want all the water going through. We could be very particular and cut around these wee fastening clip slots, but squeezing it around seems to work just fine. And there we've got an effective filtering pad there, look. The beauty is, of course, we can change one of those out at a time if we need to, so any beneficial bacteria that we've got growing in there, we're only going to lose half at a time if we do remove one, although obviously we can squeeze it out quite a few times before it starts to degrade. It's going to last a good long while, that. We can even keep both of those in and change out the sponge when it gets to the end of its lifetime. So plenty of options for trading out media when we need to without rocking our cycle about or losing too much bacteria. I feel like that's going to do a pretty good job of polishing water already. But then there's another wee gap we can slip some more of this stuff in, look. It's going to catch some more of the finer particles that we want to. And there's still room for a wee bag of Purigen there, look. If you're not familiar with Purigen, it works by filtering out organics from your water and really gives you a crystal clear look. It doesn't last forever though, it does need recharged from time to time. But it's simple enough to do, and I do have a video about that, so I'll add the card for that at the end of this video. All that's needed now is to attach the fixing bracket, and there's a few different holes on the back of this, so you can kind of set the filter higher or lower on your tank as you need or as you see fit. That in turn holds onto the suction cup holder that you attach to the side of your tank. So I really like these wee filters, but they're not perfect. Did find they rattled some, well the lid rattles. And I did mess about with it a wee bit. I could quieten it a wee bit, but the rattle was still there. For me, that's not a big issue. It's an internal filter, right? So I've got a sliding glass lid on this, which I will be closing over. And I've got a wee plan. The lid was easy enough to remove. I managed to do it without snapping the wee couplings, so I can put it back if I want. But the wee section in the back there, I could have put more media in if I want. I could put more sponge in if I want. I'm going to put this little baby pothos in there though. So for a wee filter like that, we've got quite a lot of media in there and a nice looking plant. Pothos, if you don't know, grows into a nice long beautiful looking vine and is excellent at soaking up nitrates. I do believe it is poisonous to cats, so don't let them nibble on it. And I don't know if I'm going too far by saying children too, so let's keep everybody safe. Look into that please before you use it. I'm pretty sure about the cat bit, and we want to keep our other pets safe. Children, I'm not so sure if you know. Maybe put that down in the comments below. Help everybody out with that one. But there we go. I do believe it's going to do a great job of filtering our water and polishing it. See, they give off a pretty good flow. If that's something you're looking for in your tank. Obviously, this is just how I've customised mine. There'll be plenty of variation and other options. And again, if you've got any thoughts or ideas about how to do this, put it in the comments below and we'll help each other out. Because that's what this is all about, isn't it? Otherwise, I hope you found this useful. And I'm out. Later.